4 years ago today, iconic rapper Tupac Shakur was shot here in Las Vegas.
The rapper was shot inside of a BMW while stopped at a red light on Koval and Flamingo. And we all know the story. He then died 6 days later.
First, from our 8 News Now investigators, there are some of the photos from the murder of Tupac Shakur shown to a local grand jury. That panel indicting 60-year-old Dwayne Keefe D. Davis in the rapper's murder.
What if I told you that some of the biggest names in 90s music might be hiding secrets linked to the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G? Secrets so deep, they've been buried in classified police files for decades. But now, these secrets are finally coming to light. So what really happened in the violent East Coast versus West Coast rap wars, and who, among the stars of that era, might be implicated in these cold-blooded murders? The 90s was an explosive time for the rap industry. The music was raw, unfiltered, and often reflected the harsh realities of life in urban America. But behind the beats and rhymes, there was an escalating feud, one that would lead to the tragic murders of two of the most influential figures in hip-hop history, Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. Their deaths rocked the world, leaving fans heartbroken and fueling endless conspiracy theories. But what if the truth was always within reach, hidden in files and evidence that have only now been unearthed? Fast forward nearly 30 years and a breakthrough emerges. Retired LAPD detectives alongside Las Vegas investigators are reopening these cold cases. They've unearthed secret evidence files that might finally crack the case of Tupac's murder wide open. These files don't just tell a story of gang violence and rivalries. They implicate some of the biggest names in 90s music. Accusations that have never been made public, evidence that might never see the light of day. But what's inside these files could change everything we thought we knew. Their deaths rocked the world, leaving fans heartbroken and fueling endless conspiracy theories. But what if the truth was always within reach, hidden in files and evidence that have only now been unearthed? Both artists had ties to rival gangs and were at the center of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry. Some speculate that their murders were the result of this escalating tension. Others believe the killings were orchestrated by powerful figures within the music industry, or even law enforcement. Despite numerous investigations, no one has ever been convicted for their deaths, leaving fans and investigators alike searching for answers. These murders were more than just tragic losses for the music industry. They were pivotal moments that fueled the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, ultimately altering the landscape of hip-hop forever. Both Tupac and Biggie were at the peaks of their careers when their lives were violently cut short, and despite numerous theories, investigations, and documentaries, the truth behind their deaths remains elusive. And fast forward nearly 30 years, and a breakthrough emerges. At the center of this storm is one man, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a self-proclaimed shot caller in Tupac's murder. He's long been a figure of interest, and now, he's facing the most intense legal scrutiny yet. Prosecutors armed with thousands of pages of documents from the LAPD's past investigations are confident they can nail Keefe D as a central figure in Tupac's assassination. But what makes this case different now? It's the sheer volume of evidence that LAPD detectives have been sitting on for decades, waiting for the right moment to strike. Information about gang activity, witness testimonies, and detailed insights into the criminal underworld of the 90s. All of this is now being brought to light in an unprecedented collaboration between law enforcement agencies. But here's where it gets even more shocking. The files contain accusations against some of the most famous hitmakers of the 90s, names that would shock you if they were ever revealed. These artists, who once dominated the airwaves, might have connections to the violence that took the lives of Tupac and Biggie. Unfortunately, these details might never be made public. The files are so sensitive, so explosive, that they may remain sealed forever. But the implications are clear. There were forces at play far beyond what the public ever imagined. The future of the case and the legacy of Tupac and Biggie. As the trial against Keefe D progresses, the world will be watching closely. Will justice finally be served for Tupac and Biggie? Or will these secret files remain locked away, leaving us with more questions than answers? One thing is certain, the story of Tupac and Biggie is far from over. Their music continues to inspire, but the truth behind their deaths still haunts the world. As new evidence comes to light, we can only hope that closure is on the horizon for the families and fans who have waited decades for answers. With that said, subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of the music world. Hit the like button if you found this video thought-provoking, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update.